First Coast's most accurate forecast from the First Coast News Weather Team, certified by Weather Rate, sponsored by AC Designs.
Hi there, friends, local, abroad, around the world. This is Weather Watchers Worldwide out of Jacksonville, Florida. I'm meteorologist Robert Speta, joined by our fantastic chief meteorologist, Lewis Turner.
Hello, Robert. How have you been? It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. You know, we've had the Christmas and New Year's vacation.
Yeah.
How was your overall holidays? Good
beautiful,
stuff?
Beautiful, peaceful. Yep, I appreciate it. Much warmer than yours. Enough about me. I want to hear about you. I was looking at, I know we got your headlines here, midwinter snowstorms that we've seen. I think that's a big part of Robert's storytelling and part of his time away. Record warm on the First Coast coming for the weekend before a cool down, and then, of course, playoff football weather. That's the big topics today. But, I do want to catch up because you were saying just before we were coming on air, you're a little nervous. It's been a few weeks since you've done this. No reason to be. You're a pro, but I'm wondering how the couple of weeks have been, kind of the highlights of the trip up north.
Yeah, a lot of snow. A lot of snow. Actually, I'll get right, since we're getting right into it here.
Please.
Look at the national picture. Now, I went to a small town outside of Buffalo. Did you see where it's actually currently snowing there, just south of Buffalo?
Yes.
That's where I was.
That's where you were. So you're right between Erie, Pennsylvania,
yes,
on the thruway up to Buffalo. You get off at what exit? What exit are you?
Well, I don't get off of the thruway. I usually get off and then get on 86.
Okay.
Towards Salamanca or Olean, and then get off there.
Gotcha.
You ever hear of Ellicottville?
Yes, of course.
So Holiday Valley, Hollymont, big ski area.
Yes.
I grew up in like that spot right there. Like going there is a 5-minute drive.
Flexing some Western New York knowledge.
There you go.
Speta's hometown. My wife's home area, so have made the journey. But and I have done the journey twice before, I should say, but once before when we got caught in a true, like what you experienced, that true lake effect, whiteout, had to stop the car and get a hotel. In fact, it was so bad.
It's nasty.
Yeah, I mean there were travel bans and things like that in place up there. We saw.
And I bet you when that did hit you, was it like 5 miles away? It was just fine.
Yeah. Yes.
Because that's the way it sets up. Like you go through these bands of heavy snow, and you're like, all right, I just got to fight through it, and it'll come out on the other side soon.
And it was one of those things where we had driven 17 hours from here up there. And then we got, an hour and a half away. It's like, we can push through, we can make it. We're going to make it on the home stretch. But no, I mean, truly.
That took a lot of self-control.
It would have been impossible.
Like, I'm going to wait.
And then you wake up the next morning, and we were watching local news, and the stories are 5 or 6 people had been just totally abandoned on the thruway because they had to shut it down. And, I think there was a fatality even. So it's like, God, thank God, you made the decision.
Yeah, it goes both ways because while I was up there, and actually let's show some video I shot from up there. While I was up there, there was one day, Tuesday, it was a lot of wind.
Yeah.
There was a lot of snow coming down. And I seen people saying, like, I'm not even going out on the roads. But then there was other days where I thought it was heavy. Like this day right here, I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah.
My father looks at me dead, just straight, like face, not joking. Oh, it's only a little bit of light snow out there.
It's light snow.
Light snow.
It's a dusting.
You're not crashing on that road right now.
Well, you got the ruts to drive through.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. The snowplow went through a few hours ago.
Yep.
Is this my wife videoing me here?
Robert,
that's me holding on tight.
Are you driving the Mini Cooper up there?
No.
Okay.
I did rent a car. My Mini Cooper would not survive. This was from Tuesday. They were getting legit like 40, 50 mile per hour winds coming up over the hills there.
Yeah.
And the snow. Here's one thing. Bad snowman making weather out there.
Yeah.
Because the snow
not sticking together.
Exactly. Great for skiing and snowboarding though, or like snowmobiling and everything, because it's just this powder and it's flying over, very dry. But yeah. So what would you
educate me? Then, as the snow expert, so when we're talking ratios.
All right.
So a drier ratio.
Yes.
Bad snowman, good ski.
Yeah.
What's an example of a drier?
What you mean, like the fractions of it?
Yes.
So 110 is like your standard, right? So like that's just the average. Like if you say, and when I say 110, we're talking about, for everybody at home, basically 1 inch of rain would equal 10 inches of snow.
Yeah.
So a good, like this powder that we're getting right here, I bet this was closer to 150 15, 16.
Wow.
Now, good snowman making snow would be about 1, 5, 6. So for 1 inch of rain would be about 6 inches of snow. It's a lot more wetter. This stuff, and the reason why it looks really bad here is because as the wind's blowing, it's so light and it just gets blown out, and it's just so light it flies around a lot. So very good powder snow, but not good snowmaking snow. But yeah, that's a little
Interesting.
So like for our snowstorm we had in Waycross last
Yes.
year, I bet that was probably closer to 1.8, 1.7 because it was a very wet, damp snow.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but lake effect. I don't envy the forecasters up there because it's tough.
Yeah, it's a fine line between somebody who's going to get 8 and somebody who gets a dusting.
Even on this drive right here, you see the differences. And you know, one other thing, and not to get in the weeds, but if you're watching this, you probably want us to get into the weeds because you're kind of interested in the weather. Another thing is like at the location where I was here, it's about 50 miles outside of Buffalo where their radar is. You know what happens? The radar doesn't see the snow.
Yeah.
Because
it's forming so low.
Yeah, lake effect is so shallow.
Attenuates up high. Yeah. So that's a good point. So you're looking at radar and you're just like, what in the blazes is happening? Yeah.
There's no snow, and then you look outside and it's just dumping.
Yeah. Good point.
And you know, one thing, I loved it. I loved being out there in the snow. At the same time, it made me appreciate when I got back here and it was 70 degrees. I'm like, all right.
If I squint really hard at that last video, it almost looked like a foggy morning, like you were driving up to the beach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, we're going to go do a beach drive. Oh, but then you see the flakes, but that's not sand.
And that's looking at the video, though.
Look at that. Look at the treads.
As looking at the video, because if you're out there in that wind, you're not mistaken whatsoever.
No, not even a little. That's great stuff. Well, we missed you, but glad you got an opportunity to see some family. Glad you got an opportunity to get a little taste. I know a lot of people around here want it just a little bit. They kind of watch jealously, like, I'd love to get a little taste of it and then be done with it really fast. And it's good to show that snowpack graphic. I appreciate it because we were showing that a couple of cold snaps that we had, like where would you have to drive if you wanted to see some snow? And consistently it was like Virginia or West Virginia in that first snap.
For this snowstorm, it wasn't until I hit Western New York.
Yeah.
And then when I left, it got into northern Pennsylvania, right around like Ross Muma's hometown, and then gone. And so it was just that area was getting it. So that's where you got to go if you want to see snow, or you can go to Alaska.
You could go to Alaska if you can get there.
Thing.
So interesting. When we talk about the lower 48 and then the other two, Hawaii and Alaska, it's the other two that have been just absolutely brutal. I mean, even Hawaii has been dealing.
I got an image of that one too.
Yeah, it's unreal. So yeah, Alaska you expect. Hawaii, you might be scratching your head like, huh?
Well, let's go to Alaska first here. And I got a video out of Alaska. This is specifically out of Anchorage. First off, I mean, the snow has been coming down out there. It's because they had this big, deep area of low pressure that formed up there. It's what we call an Aleutian low. And this has been just pumping in moisture. Pressure in that down to about 950 millibars. Now, I know it's not the same one-to-one, but Lou, what is like your average Cat 1 hurricane?
Is that in the 980s? So
979,
970, 980 is a hurricane strength. And with 950, I mean, if it was 1-to-1, which it's not, but I mean, you're
higher latitudes.
Yeah, and you're talking about the strength, at least, of the low of a major hurricane, and for perspective, because we broke records with Melissa, what did that get down to? That was super low.
Wasn't it 800 something?
Yeah, it was.
Goodness, I can't.
It bombed, but anyway, with that kind of low pressure. And the not only are you dealing with that snow, but the wind profile and the extreme gradient of pressure.
Oh goodness!
You're talking about just a blowing, driving wind. Of all the places, I do want to visit Alaska.
Yeah.
And I want to get out, to some of those areas that you can only get to by like helicopter. And or like
you get a bush pilot in. That's awesome.
I want to see and then do it at that period of time like almost now, where they're dealing with essentially 24 hours of. And we're just getting kind of beyond.
You get the most out of your day.
Yeah. Well, the most out of your night.
Yes.
And then later in the season we'll full day. But I do want to experience that Alaska brutal winter one day.
Can you throw up the video out of Anchorage, because we do have some there here, and this is just at their airport where it is dumping. But this is Anchorage. I do want to read these stats for you here, Lou, though. In Juneau, the capital of Alaska, a lot of people forget that. Juneau's the capital.
Not Anchorage.
80 inches. Oof. Do you know how much 80 inches
12,
is in
6,
feet?
60, 72, 84, so about 6.5.
Yep, 6.6 feet. That's
a lot. That's
insane.
I'm 6'4" or 6'3", so yeah.
You just go outside your door and you're like,
that's up there. Yeah. Look at the airplane. I admire them for thinking they're going to try and go. I admire.
I mean, life goes on, so you gotta try.
You gotta try. I see ice in a plane.
Yeah, that's what's going on there in the middle, right? And
then I see the luggage guy. He's taking mama's bags out of the plane, but I don't know. If I got to the airport, all that, I'm going home. But I guess they're built for this.
Oh wait,
that is brutal.
But in Juneau, boats were the images of boats, like fishing boats, sinking in the harbor because so much snow accumulated on them that they went down. Roofs have been collapsing, which is a major issue up north where you get a lot of this snow, is you have to shovel off roofs.
Yeah.
One thing architecturally, you'll notice, and this is if anybody travels north out of Florida, you'll notice this big difference is that the roofs have a lot steeper that. It's because that way the snow slides off.
Comes right off.
Versus here in Florida, you don't really see that too often.
Got to camp those roofs for sure. Collapse.
And then
Alaska report.
Jump over to let's go back to our graphics here, because let's jump over to Lou just mentioned a second ago, Hawaii, where they've been getting. Well, I know they had winter storm warnings in place, right?
Yeah.
This is out the top of Mauna Kea, elevation 13,803. Have you ever been to Hawaii?
Never been.
Me neither.
Never been. Got to go. This is one of those videos like you see from like Mount Washington, where they're getting a 100-something mile an hour wind, and it's and this image from the peak at 13,000 feet. That's brutal.
You know what I love about this though is that you could start off the morning technically surfing in tropical weather. And just doing flip-flops, all of that, and then go for a short drive, and you could technically do a little skiing. It's
how quick those elevations change in the volcanic island. That's amazing, But yeah, so even Hawaii getting in on the action.
Midwinter storms out here. Do you want to talk about our local weather in Florida, though?
Let's thaw out.
We'll thaw out just a little bit. We're actually in a big swing and change up here right after this little commercial break.
Why do we come here? To reach for new heights, to dive to new. You can call it a team, even a community, that connection with others. We all deserve that. So why come here? This is why.
Swing into luxury, where golf and community, located in St. John's, Florida. Stillwater is a premier 55-plus active adult community where golf is in your backyard. This bundled golf course community features a championship 18-hole course, top tracer practice facility, and resort-style amenities, perfecting your swing or connecting with neighbors. Stillwater offers a perfect blend of relaxation and recreation. Live where every day feels like a getaway.
Maybe you're new to all this streaming, OTT stuff. You need a trusted news and weather source. Got you with First Coast News Plus.
That's some pretty serious cold.
Get your most accurate forecast or impact alerts.
Heavy law enforcement presence.
Extended breaking news coverage.
And that breaking is right now out of Camden County, Georgia.
And exclusive specials all on your schedule. So go to First Coast News Plus and start watching for free.
Welcome back. Hey, what was
Cold.
It was cold. We were talking about it. Let's talk Knoxville. Technically, climatologically, it's supposed to be cold right now.
Yeah, well, it's the coldest time of year. It's the cold of the year. It technically, but it ain't. Records were close.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, right now is when we should be in our coolest average low temperatures in the morning and coolest.
How cold is too cold, in your opinion?
Oh, in terms of morning lows. I know the low temperature, it's a measuring cold we did get.
Yeah.
But no one really lives their life
At 4 a.m.
morning low.
Except
The morning
GMJ
show people.
people.
Right. Certainly. I was one of those for a while. I would think about it. But most, 95% of the population is living their life. It probably woke up with the low still inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, of course, the lows are important for that. Walk out to the car or grab the newspaper. For me, I measure how cold is too cold in terms of afternoon high temperatures. And when so our diurnal range, meaning our daytime range, is that low, say in the 40s, like would be seasonable, but we only warm up to say 52, 53.
Yeah.
And it's just a dang cold, even though it is warming up a bit, it just feels like every hour is actually colder. Me is too cold.
I get that.
You know what I mean?
It's just there's no break.
Right. And hey, you give me a low at 20 degrees. If you tell me it's going to warm up to 58 and 30 degree diurnal range in a day, you bounce back and you feel better. 10-degree diurnal range days, and you're like, oh, and it just kind of blah. That to me is too cold.
Does this make you happy? Except maybe Monday.
Monday is one of those days because that 65 will be deceptive.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, 60.
Very peak, but most of it's in the 50s.
The whole day is going to be spent in the upper 40s and 50s. We might just get up there, and that thermometer is going to just kind of like trying to
5 minutes.
Remember when you're like in 8th grade and you're trying so hard to touch the rim in the basketball gym?
Yeah.
And finally that first time you just got to. That's going to be Monday with the high temperature. I got to 61, but then it'll spend 8 minutes at 60. Then you run back down to the 50 degree range. But yeah, so that month will be kind of like a few. We've had a few of these days so far this winter. We've lasted long.
Yeah.
Where you spend the whole day chilling, brutal. Because I don't, like I said, you can get me to the teens is a little bit in the afternoon. What's your answer?
It depends.
Florida cold is different.
Florida cold is different. Yeah, those highs in the 50s.
Yeah.
40s is just too much. That
40s is a high. That's a cold.
That's a very cold day. That's
cold
just
day.
too cold.
So what the low should be? That's
in January.
Right.
Now, I gotta keep it relative. But there's 84 on Saturday. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be nice out.
It's gonna shatter the record. I mean, 2 for Saturday.
I think I have some of those graphics separated here. There we go.
Yeah. It's tomorrow and Friday. Today, we started out warmer, and we didn't see that widespread, didn't cool down to that dew point, and so we started the day off warm to work. It just had those vibes.
Yeah.
We might be a little bit warmer today, and so we'll watch the temperature. We're adjust temperatures as we see necessary, for making sure you have the best possible planning. What's the difference truly between 81 and 84? Not much, right? Much when it comes to your life.
By it being AC at all? In that 84 degrees?
No, not running AC. You might?
I like the fresh air. I like
my wife.
I like to open up the windows too.
Yeah. But see, we don't reconvene at home until Aggie's running around with the kids with practice and ballet and stuff. So it's like usually we're not home. When things are cooling down anyway at this time of year. So I don't know if we'll run.
That's the big one. You're not running the heat nor less
that
light.
gets expensive. But we are throwing a little patchy fog back in the
Yeah,
forecast.
and that fog this morning didn't really come together, but tomorrow we still could see it. Temperature, a little advection, moisture coming in. Half mile the board, possibly. Very soupy.
Yeah.
Right?
It just depends on if all three line up, meaning your temperature and the winds. So if you get calm morning and it could be very dense in certain low-lying spots. Jacksonville is one of those places that we generally will see more than in other spots, unless the sea fog scenario develops as well, which that lingers all day. Those sea fog events.
Actually, I applied for a job after I got out of the military. The one of the questions they didn't take me seriously. It is the hardest weather that you've ever forecasted for, and they totally expected me to say or hurricanes or something like that, and I said sea fog.
Sea fog.
Okay, this guy's boring, but I'm like, you don't understand.
It's hard.
And I pull into a port, and I have a captain looking at me going, "Fog gonna break."
Yeah.
That way, hopefully.
It is as far as in terms of life or death on a ship. Yes, when you're sitting at your house at the beach, not really life and death for
but it's
like a tornado or a hurricane.
Chest.
Right. There's so much research and science done in the fields of forecasting, hurricane forecasting. It's not easy. Don't get me wrong, but no, there's not a room full. There's not a hurricane center. There's not a national sea fog center right now with 15 lights, and they're just studying like the gridded models on sea fog. It is tough. We know the ingredients that do it, and at times to where it's one of those things. St. Augustine, Flagler Beach may not have any, but you just get the right off of some cold water, and then boom. You get it. So anyhow, diatribe for the moment.
Let's talk about
Sunday in particular. I like it.
65 for the high.
Yeah, 50s all day is going to feel. It's almost going to feel like it's getting cooler through the
Westerly 10 to 15 miles per hour.
Yeah, the front's passed.
And that's talking a lot about this because at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Are you? I mean, obviously, rooting for the
hardcore.
Jags
We'll be in the stadium. Plan on bundling up. Bundling up at 67 degrees.
Oh, because you're going to be able to tell the Bills in the Jags stadium.
Yeah.
Who's the Bills fans or the Jags fans?
Who's shirtless?
Who's in the pool and who's not in the pool?
Right. So I know 60. Come on, toughen up, lose 67. But with that breeze, I just there are certain things like I've gone places and then I'm not taking it, and you live with regret, and you're like, I wish I just had one. Just take it with you. It's not anything. You just wrap it around your waist until you feel that little bite, and then you say, I'm going to put my Jags hoodie on. But it is interesting to note. And the system for Bills Jags game will be the fact that the day before degrees.
Yes.
And we've spent the last couple of days in the low 80s, upper 70s, a week of warming, then the front passes, and then those chilly breezes start. So it's just that happens. So just be ready to go, especially by the end of the game. So when that sun starts going down, you start catching shadows, the low sun angle, off the side of the west side. It'll feel cool.
But as I said, for the Bills fans, as cool as the Jags are going to feel. I do want to show you a video real quick because this is out of Highmark where last weekend they had their last home game because the Jags are going to win.
Yeah.
So they had their last home. They had to come in. The Bills, they always do this. This is how they shovel out because the snow just doesn't disappear. and it cost a ton of money to hire people to go through and clean this. So what happens is, you know what they got for doing it this time?
What?
They give them some Bills gloves. Bills gloves. There you go. That. This though, when we said the last home game, because they have something very in common with Buffalo here, correct, is they have a new stadium.
Ours, this will, there is a chance they win. They should get another home game, but then that may be it. We go to half capacity. I think they're dropping capacity down to 40,000 next season. Tags are good. The demand for tickets are going to go through the roof again. So it's kind of one of our last economical about going to this playoff game. Those ticket prices have absolutely skyrocketed to do that.
I would say tailgate. We'll go back to our graphics here. But the weather's going to be a little bit cool. Suggest tailgating, bring a big TV and hang out with your friends outside the stadium. You're going to get the same enough, and you'll probably save $1,000.
Seriously.
It's like
cheap.
$500 for the cheapest
Keeps
tickets
going
right
up
now.
every day to supply and demand. You know what I mean? So Bills Jags forecast. Bills fans travel well, and one of the things that we'll keep in mind will be gracious hosts, certainly. Tables on fire and break the table.
Please don't burn all of our picnic.
We had some little minor fire. One of the grass lots.
The Lot X.
Yeah,
arguably not very well. Like it was over there. So
we need to put up some red flag warnings, like no burn. No, why that is? Maybe that's some social science you get into. Why they break the tables? I want to know more about that one of these days. And Ross and I were talking about this yesterday. It's like, when did that start?
We'll only have like 30 seconds. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
We can get into.
I'm curious.
There's a teaser for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Same time. All right, come back.
Well, appreciate you streaming along with us. A lot of fun stuff around right now here locally. We've got some great things to look forward to coming up this weekend for sure. So we'll be back here tomorrow talking all things Weather Watchers Worldwide.